Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through each of the ABRSM theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets and you can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials. And you can also find information about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of hints and tips on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time on exam day when you're working through your exam paper. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more in store. And now we're going to continue with the 2014 past papers for grade 3. And we're going to start on paper B. So if you turn with me to page 6, we can make a start of this. And so as I always suggest, have a go of this paper, or at least the first few questions for this video before you work through it with me. It's always better to have a go on your own. It doesn't matter if you go wrong, if you make some mistakes, you can just rub it out. Always write in pencil. I use a mechanical pencil just so it stays nice and sharp, and then you've got an eraser to hand, and you could also make good use of a ruler too. And so it's always better to learn through those mistakes. I'm hoping you've had a go of that, and now we'll look at this together. Now question 1 asks us to add the missing bar lines to each of these two melodies. There are two separate melodies here with two separate time signatures, so we're going to have to just be careful. Don't just continue on presuming it stays in the same time signature. So we need to count 3 quarter notes or 3 crotchet beats per bar. So anything that adds up to 3 of these notes, and then we need to put the bar line each time after that. So we've got a quaver and a quaver, 2 eighth notes, which give us 1 crotchet or 1 quarter note. So there's 1 beat, there's 1 beat, and there is another beat. So 1, 2, 3, bar line. So here we have 2 quavers, 2 eighth notes give us a crotchet, that's 1. 2 quavers, give us a crotchet, 2 eighth notes give us a quarter note, there's 2. And there's 3 beats, so 1, 2, 3, bar line. Here we go again, 1, 2, 3, bar line. Now we have some semiquavers, some 16th notes, and we know that 1 crotchet, if I just diagram this out, divides into 2 quavers or 2 eighth notes, which if we divide again gives us 4 semiquavers or 4 16th notes. So each of those is a quarter of a beat, and we know that, oh, wrong bit, we know that 4 quarters gives us a whole. So there's 1 beat, there's 1 beat, there's 1 beat, 1, 2, 3, 1 beat there, and then we've got a 1 beat rest, a 1 beat rest. So there's our double bar lines to know that we're correct, we've not gone astray. Let's look at the next one. So now we're going to map out the bars of 12/8. That means 12 quaver beats or 12 eighth notes per bar. That's quite a handful of notes, counting to 12 each bar. So we'll do that, but we'll also look at it in a quicker way too. 12/8 is compound time, and it's 4 beats per bar. It's 4 groups of 3 quaver beats or eighth notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is what we're looking for each bar. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because the half again is our extra quaver eighth note. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here we can see that 1 dotted minim is 2 dotted crotchets. So we can see our 4 groups of 3 there. And also if we want to just count each eighth note, each quaver beat, we know that that divides into 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's our bar line, but that's quite a mouthful. And so we can do it a quicker way. And so we can just think group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, bar line. Let's just go over that and check the maths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with the dot, 10, 11, 12. There we go. So that's that bar completed. So we'll do this bar the long way, and then we'll just do a quick double check the short way, looking for the 4 groups of 3. So we got 1, 2, 3 with the dot, 3 quaver beats, 3/8 notes, 4, 5, 6 is here, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And there's our bar line. And we can see the groups of 3. There's 1 group of 3, 2 groups of 3, 3 groups of 3, 4 groups of 3. And the last little bit, so let's move on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with the dot, 10, 11, 12. Here's our bar line. And then this last little bit is just left because this etc. here means that this last bar isn't complete. So that bit doesn't come into our calculations. And so that's that one completed. And now we've already answered this as we've been thinking about this. We know that 12/8 is in compound time because it's in groups of 3. And then there are 4 groups of 3, and so we are in quadruple time. There are 4 beats per bar. There we go, so that's that one completed. Now this next question too, we can just skip that. We're not going to look at that at all because from 2018 onwards, the newly revised exam papers no longer have this question. We're no longer required to write a 4-bar rhythm, so we can just skip that. However, that doesn't detract from the value of these past papers. These past papers are an excellent revision resource. We can just skip that bit now though, because that doesn't apply. So turning the page to page 7, we're going to have a look at these intervals here. And we're asked to describe these melodic intervals. They're melodic intervals because the notes come one after each other, as it were, in a melody, unlike a harmonic interval when they come one on top of each other like a harmony. So we just need to describe the number, and also we need to describe the detail of it, whether it's major, minor or perfect. Okay, so if you can just get the number, that's half marks straight away, and then this is the rest of the half marks. So half marks is pretty easy, and then we've got to put our thinking caps on for the remainder of those 10 points. So we're in G major, we're counting from G each time. The only way you can perhaps go wrong in getting the number properly written is if you forget to count this given note as the first degree of the scale, because we're counting from G, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, A, B, C. So you can see here, it's a good visual aid, even if you don't play piano, to just quickly sketch out a piano keyboard so you can visualise those intervals. It doesn't have to be a work of art, it just helps you to see 1, 2, 3, 4, G, A, B, C. And the only way you go wrong is if you forget to count the given note as 1 and start here, and that way you'd be 1 degree out each time. So always count the given note as number 1. So here we go again, G, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a fourth. And actually now, because we know that's a fourth, there's no more thinking to be done, because there's no case for major or minor, because fourths, fifths and octaves are described as perfect. And so that's that done. And so now we're in the bass clef. We counted from A flat major here, so A flat is our first. So we are counting 1 is the line, 2 is the space, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're a seventh. C, D, E, F, G. So actually, if we're going to run out of space, let's just quickly scribble another little A there so we can see. Give ourselves a good run at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's our seventh. Now it's A flat major, so we're actually going from A flat to G. Now A flat major key signature is taking care of everything. That G is part of that A flat major key signature, which would have G naturals, and so that's a major seventh. And so that's the job done. Now here we're going from G minor, so we're counting from G here. 1 is the G, 2 is the A, 3 is the B, so we're on a third. And now we need to talk about whether it's major or minor interval. So we're in the key of G minor, we've got B flat and E flat, so actually that's a B flat, and let's just look at that. G to B would be a major third, that's part of the major scale. Major also means larger or greater, and minor is lesser or smaller, and the B flat makes that interval smaller, and B flat is also part of the minor scale, and so that tells us that we are a minor third here, part of G minor scale, and we've reduced that major interval by a semitone. So there we go. Let's look at this next one. So we're in F sharp minor now, we're counting from F sharp. We won't worry about the sharps for the moment, so let's just count this space line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a fifth. And again, we know that fourths, fifths and octaves are perfect. There's no distinction between major or minor, so a perfect fifth, job done. And then finally, we've got an E here, that's 1, and then the next door note is 2, we're in a second, and we're actually going from E to F sharp because we've got a key signature of F, C, G, D, and F sharp is part of E major scale, and you can also tell it's a full step away. F natural will be the minor, that's smaller. F sharp is the major, that's greater, and it's perfectly in line with our major key signature, and so we know that that's a major second. There we go. So I hope that's been helpful to you. We'll look at the next questions in the next video. If you can give me a like, that would be really super. I hope that you're enjoying this. I hope it's helping you. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. Please do give me a like, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more to come. Please also do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.